Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with a safety tool that you might be hearing about for the first time, and it's free.
All you have to do is put your car keys right next to your bed at night. Valley News Team's Melanie Parmel explains how this simple step could keep you safe.
We've all heard this loud sound before, whether it's in a parking lot or your own garage. But did you know this loud noise could really help you when your car is nestled at your home? We came across a Nextdoor post of a Fargo resident encouraging people to put their car keys next to their bed at night. The reason why? So if you hear anything strange outside of your home or someone breaks in, you can hit the panic button on the key. The sound could scare off an intruder or catch the attention of your neighbors. And the police we talked to tell us this isn't a bad idea. In fact, they say the sound can draw attention and possibly get you help. So when you head to bed tonight, instead of putting the car keys on the counter or the key hook, officers say try putting them on your nightstand. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
While the officers we talked with say this is a good idea, they say an even better idea is always securing your home at night.
After today's bone-chilling wind chills, snuggling into a warm bed will feel pretty good. The challenge, of course, will be getting up in the morning and making sure you're dressed for the conditions. Hutch, what kind of insight do you have so people will be ready to go?
Well, it's certainly going to be cold and wind chilly, so you want to bundle up the bus riders, and a look outside shows we still have a little bit of a breeze and some ice crystals in the atmosphere. Wind chill advisory for the entire viewing area as we go through the overnight hours. And taking a look at your current wind chills, they're between 25 and 35 below in many locations, even with winds generally under 15 miles per hour. The coldest air, Devil's Lake Basin through the Grand Forks area and Thief River Falls. A lot of near 10 below readings here along the I-94 corridor. Can do the big winner right now at 18 below. Expect temperatures to dive down to between 10 and 20 below with wind chills between 25 and 40 below for daybreak. That's what you need to plan for the start of your day. We have a couple of rounds of snow heading our way as we go through our work week, and some of it's substantial. I'll have details on our next winter storm here in just a few minutes.
Fill up the snowblower.
It's a good idea.
Thanks.
Despite the overwhelming majority of schools that either canceled or delayed the start of school today, Fargo opened on time. School leaders say the reasons that went into that decision will be scrutinized in hopes of avoiding problems that were created today. 6 school buses got stuck in the snow this morning. On one bus, children between the ages of 3 and 5 years old were stranded for more than an hour.
One of the things that we learned today is what our expectation of whether the roads, all roads, main and side roads would be plowed or not. I think that's something that we'll revisit and consider more in the future as well.
Another issue impacting morning drop-off in Fargo today was the district's snow removal contractor, which didn't clear all of the parking lots before school started. The district's ground crews stepped in and helped finish the job.
A 24-year-old man has been busted for what Moorhead police say was dealing heroin in the FM area. After investigating for 2 weeks, agents used search warrants at 2 different places that Myron Barry Bell is known to have lived in Fargo and Moorhead. They seized about 110 grams of heroin with a street value of $22,000, along with 3 grams of marijuana at about $5,000. Bell will face a felony controlled substance charge in Minnesota and possessing heroin with intent to deliver charge in North Dakota.
President Donald Trump will deliver his State of the Union address tomorrow night. The speech got called off during the country's longest federal government shutdown last month. With the possibility of another political standoff looming large, our Washington correspondent, Alana Austin, talked with Republican U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer about what he hopes to hear in the speech.
I want to hear his plans for, national defense as well as border security. He's our commander-in-chief. He's made a strong commitment to rebuilding our military. I'm, of course, a member of the Armed Services Committee. North Dakota is home to many installations. I'd like to hear some of that good old patriotic, continue to rebuild our military stuff from him.
The President's State of the Union speech is slated for 8 o'clock tomorrow night and can be seen right here on KVLY and also KX4.
Getting out in the middle of the winter has been difficult of late. One local pet owner has had difficulty getting his pets out to socialize and exercise.
He sat down with Valley News Team's Katie Opperly to talk about the idea of an indoor dog park right here in Fargo to help ease this problem.
John Ellis, a Fargo pet owner, says it's difficult for his dogs to get out during the winter months.
My service animal actually has cancer, and she also has arthritis and hip dysplasia.
And with these health conditions, being outdoors is not the best option to make sure his dog is getting up and moving. He says this is what led him to the idea of an indoor dog park where all dogs could enjoy exercise without the downfalls that come along with the winter season.
We'll be able to avoid, the possibilities of frostbite on animals, which could lead to infection, could lead to amputation, and then possibly even, unfortunately death. So everybody ultimately would benefit one way or another.
Dr. Paul Striegel with the Animal Health Clinic agrees that an indoor dog park could be beneficial for pets because even they need exercise.
Physically and mentally, it helps dogs to get out. They rest better at nights, they sleep better, and they're just more content if they can get just a little bit of exercise each day.
Striegel says sometimes outdoor exercise, especially here in Fargo, is a real challenge.
Especially if there's any breeze at all, they feel the wind chill. They feel the temperatures. Paws are important. The problem this time of year is there's ice everywhere. Dogs slip and can get injured too. Deep snow is hard for them to go through.
And an indoor facility could be the answer.
Could be a real good idea. I think it would be a real advantage for a place people can take their dogs and to exercise in the winter.
When I spoke with the Fargo Park District, they said they're going to begin researching the idea by looking at other indoor dog parks across the nation. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
Ellis is hoping to show the park districts that there is support for this idea in our area. He encourages people to share their opinions and reach out to local park districts.
A North Dakota program saw a record amount of fruit and vegetable donations last year to help feed the hungry. The state ag department says more than 500,000 pounds of produce came in to Hunger Free ND Garden Project, providing more than 2 million servings of fruits and vegetables. The fresh produce is donated by home gardeners and commercial growers. It goes to soup kitchens, food pantries, and other charitable feeding groups.
More discussion today on an asset forfeiture bill making its way through North Dakota's capital. The bill, sponsored by Representative Rick Becker, tackles the reporting system for law enforcement agencies that seize property from alleged criminals. Becker says under current law, a person can be cleared of wrongdoing in criminal court, but could fight to get their possessions back in civil court. Because of that, Becker proposes that forfeitures should be taken to a state-level agency instead of staying at the local level. But some law enforcement officials say those forfeiture funds should stay local, with others saying they'd be willing to turn in reports on where that money is going.
Our preference would be is that the funds remain at local control because we know where our funds are needed best because we're the ones on the streets fighting crime.
Agencies across the state also say a criminal conviction is necessary as it's a requirement to forfeit assets of accused criminals. The bill has been moved to a subcommittee for more discussion.
The stage is set for 2 key votes on distracted driving in St. Paul. One bill in committee says only the hands-free use of a cell phone would be allowed, while another bill would dramatically increase the penalties for distracted driving. The hands-free bill would allow a motorist to touch the screen to reset the GPS or possibly to accept a call. The second bill is more controversial. It would make the penalties for injuring or killing someone while using a cell phone in a distracted manner the equivalent to penalties for a DUI.
How do you determine how impaired someone is while they're on the phone? If they're having a conversation, but they're not texting. If they're touching the GPS device once or twice to recenter it.
The committee is scheduled to debate and vote on both bills tomorrow.